What's good, YouTube? The only Eminem with 6 here with Mr. Undisputed, Undefeated Omaha Regional Championship of the month of March. What did you do? Now, we already know what you did. But
yes, sir.
We here on the channel is documenting Bruce's run to try to get to Worlds this year.
Sir.
So, show us the deck. Everyone hates it, but we're going to get into the discussion.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I was playing a pretty standard Snake Eye build. It's just the best deck. I played Pure, so we played triple Snake Eye Ash, double Poplar, the one Oak, and the double Flamberge. That's a pretty standard ratio. There are some other variants where you don't play the second Flamberge and you just play more non-engine, but I think it's really nice playing through things, so playing 2 Flamberge is really important.
You're saying your opinion matters because you've done undefeated twice now.
Yeah, well, I mean, the first time with Fire King, so it's a little bit different.
Oh, okay.
Then we have the one Temple and the one Original. I see some people running double Original. The only time I think I'm going to play double Original is if there's a ban list that hits the deck, and then you play 2 of this just to make up for consistency loss.
Yeah.
And then for consistency, triple D Bellstar. This format is super hand trap heavy. You want as much extension, so you play triple wanted, triple D Bellstar, and then triple Bonfire. You need to be able to play through stuff, and just having this is really important. Bonfire has become infinitely better recently because of the influx of people playing effect negations. So Veilers are becoming important, Imperms are becoming big, and Mourners becoming more and more prevalent. So having Bonfire for when your Ash gets hit with any of those things, just to get into the Poplar and then do your regular line there is really, really important.
Yeah.
And then continuing with consistency, we also run the 1 for 1. Some people don't play this. I think they're ridiculous. This card's crazy. This allows you to play through the third hand trap if they've got it. So this is almost ultimately necessary. Jet Synchron. Some people don't run this. I run it. I think it's the best variant of the deck. Sure, it is kind of a win more variant, but whenever you can get to an Omni Negate plus the rest of your board, you just auto win right there, and having those kinds of auto win buttons is really important in this format.
And I also want to remind people that card was banned for a while.
Yes, there is a reason for that.
Yes.
Cards should be banned. But. Triple Nib. This card's definitely the weakest of the hand traps. It's the weakest by itself into the pure variant. This card's really, really good into Rogue.
Yes.
So having this in the deck is really important. So that way you have something to combat Rogue, but also this plus any other hand trap is really good into the pure variant or into the Fire King variant.
Yep.
Triple Ash. Again, not super strong, but it is really good in combination with other things. The most important things in this format are the triple Veiler, the triple Imperm, and then the double Mourner. You only run 2 Mourner. It's because it's only on special summon. So normal summon Snake Eye Ash just does nothing to. You can still hit the Poplar, but it's not as good.
Yeah.
But I'd rather just hit the Oak when it gets.
So essentially, this deck is set up for the mirror match in Rogue.
Yes. Yeah. I think Pure is probably the best variant, so I'd rather prep for it than anything else.
Tournament results would seem to agree with you.
Yeah. This card. Talents. I activated this card I think once the whole event.
14 minutes left in the round.
I used it to draw 2, and it did get me to playable. I drew Snake Eye Ash plus I think Bonfire, so I was able to play through anything because of the 2 draw. But I think going forward I will cut this. It just was never relevant, and most of the time it doesn't do enough. I'd rather this just be any more interaction going second. So it's probably gonna turn to Bells.
Gotcha. And the deck is 40, right?
Yeah, deck's 40. And then at the end here, triple cross out. We run every single target for it. You might as well run it.
Because Droll doesn't hurt you, so even
no.
Yeah, so I mean,
Droll's not very good into this deck at all. We're kind of seeing that kind of leave the format. So.
Well, it's great against Rogue, but as for everyone's tired of this deck, so I mean.
Yeah. On to the extra. This is a really, really standard extra. So
no, let's just speed through the
1 Linkribo, 1 Phoenix, the SP-IP combo, Dark Hita, best cards in the format. These cards are crazy. Link 3.
Everyone's playing a Dark of Fire.
Selene and Promethean. You don't need a second one of these.
That's only if you know if you're gonna go against a lot of catch tier. In my personal opinion, but you're not.
It's not necessary in Pure. The Raging Phoenix, Zealantis, and Appaloosa, the mandatory Link 4s. Typhon is probably the only questionable card I ran. Lots of people like to play Typhon or Access Code. Access Code, I think, is more of a win more card. Most of the time that you would make Access Code, you're winning the game anyways.
Yeah.
Typhon stole games from people. Just when I had nothing, I would normal summon a hand trap, drop a Typhon on the field, and I was able to clean up the field just to sit on something for a while. Typhon just was crazy.
Oh yeah.
And then of course the synchro package. Nothing really to explain there.
No, not at all.
Onto the side here, triple draw. People are taking this out of their main decks and their side decks. I think that's ridiculous. I think there's so many degenerate decks that are trying to like compete in this format right now, like Raid Raptor and also the Fire King variant. Just like die to this deck like immediately, or die this card immediately. So why not just throw in another hand trap to like stop those decks that can beat you going first.
And you're gonna say, I knew you had it somewhere.
Yeah. And speaking of Rogue, and Rogue decks, I hate Rogue. So we just played 5 Bestials. This hits like everything else that this deck doesn't already hit, and then you just kind of just side out all the hand traps that aren't relevant against it, against whatever like deck you're playing against. This is really good into like Raid Raptor sometimes. You just like banish their thing when they're targeting one of the Raid Raptors engraved and they can't make the big guy. This card's good into Voiceless, like especially Voiceless. Like you just want to beat Voiceless whenever you see it. If they go too hard, they just auto win. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Especially if they're playing the branded variant. The third Mourner. So this is when I go second. I always cut out the Flamberge. Like I go down to 1 Flamberge and put in the 1 Mourner going second, just because you need to see stuff in the mirror. You just need to be able to stop their plays, and so having another hand trap is really nice. 2 Lightning Storm, 1 Harpies. I was not running these beforehand. But like I ended up running them, and loved them, and then finally summoned them in. Card's disgusting.
Very disgusting. So.
Yeah.
Any shout outs?
Shout out Action Sports, best locals in Kansas City. I gotta say it every time. Shout out to Antman816 right here. Shout outs to Daniel Reyes, who was my car partner. He told me halfway through the tournament that if I won or went X1, he was gonna pay for my dinner, and that just like my mindset shifted ever since when he said that. I was like, oh really? And then like I just like started cooking people. I was going at it.
You wanted a free meal.
Yes, I did, and I got a really good out of it. But yeah, no, shout out to him. He was a trooper the whole day. He was playing side events, and he lost every single one. So shout out to that guy.
Alrighty, well, YouTube, you seen it again. We put in another notch in the win. Second
Yes,
deck
sir.
box, second regional play mat with the deck box.
Yes, sir.
And more to come. So until next time, YouTube, there's always a move to make. Deuces.